Hi students, like I told you, let us move to the next topic. The next topic is about functions with arguments. Let me tell you what arguments are. As you know, function go this is where you name the function. I named it Abdullah before. Let me name it Abdullah again. The name of the function is Abdullah. That's all we did last time. And this bracket was empty last time. I hope you remember. Last time it was like this. So, what are arguments? When you create a function with a name, for example, function Abdullah, instead of leaving these brackets empty, you give values inside this. For example, x, z are two values for this function. Values is not the correct word. These are actually called arguments. So what are arguments? Instead of creating an empty function with a name, here I name it Abdullah. Instead of creating an empty function, I give few values inside this function. Those values are called arguments. Okay? And then what comes inside this curly bracket? Usually what comes inside this curly bracket is the process, or what would happen if you call the function Abdullah. So here, if you call the function Abdullah, it will alert x. Whatever x is, it will create an alert box. And second, it would alert z. Whatever z is, it will create alert z as the alert box. And then you close the curly bracket. Now, sorry for the interruption. You say alert x, alert z, and then close the curly bracket. Okay? Earlier what we did is, we just had this. We just had go, but according to this program, according to this code, it should be not go, it should be Abdullah. Abdullah, and we just had two brackets. We did not have anything in between the brackets. But if you are using arguments, these are arguments. Z and x. X and z are two arguments for the function Abdullah. If you are using arguments, then you can't leave this empty. You have to have, let me run the code and show you what happens. If I run the code, it says, it creates an alert box, that is fine. It creates an alert box, but it says undefined, which means it's empty, there is nothing. I say okay, and again it gives me another alert box saying undefined, because it alerts x, and then it alerts z also. Okay? Undefined, which means it's empty. To give it some value, where would I give x and z any values? To give values to x and z, I will have to do it inside this. I will have to say Abdullah by default it should be like this, but what I will do is, to give x a value, I will open it with quotes, say hello, and then close the quotes. That value is for x. I have given x a value already. Now I would say comma, and I would give z a value. I will put quotes again and say, how are you? Let me close the quotes. Now this value hello is for X, and then I put a comma, and for Z I say how are you. This could be anything. Now if I run the code, the first alert box, this alert box, alert X should say hello according to this. You see hello is here, which is for X, and on the alert box it says hello. And alert Z should say how are you. It says. So my alert box and my function works. If I want, I could also change this. Let me change this. Let me say pleasure to meet you. Let me change this to hello. How are you? And if I run this now, it should say hello, how are you, which is the value for X. And when I say OK, it should run my second alert box. This is alert which says pleasure to meet you. So, coming from the beginning, you create a function called Abdullah. You give two arguments to it. These arguments could be anything. You can say A and B, Z and A. It could be anything. According to this code, I said X, comma, Z. And then within this curly bracket, this bracket and this bracket, I say what happens if you call the function Abdullah. What happens if you start the function Abdullah? I say you will have to alert X. Whatever is in X, alert it. And second code, I say alert Z. Whatever is in Z, alert it. Alert, which means it gives you a pop-up window, it gives you a message. That is called an alert. You probably did this in term 1. Okay. And the third code, usually what I do is, I just say Abdullah and I just say Abdullah and I run the code. This will run the function called Abdullah. But if I am using arguments, I have to give values for X and Z, right? This is where I give values, this way. I start with a quotation, I give the value for X, close the quotation, I put a comma, and then I give the value for Z. Now if I say run, it should give me both X alert box and Z alert box. So here you learned naming a function, giving arguments to functions, and then saying what happens if you run the function, and then you actually run the function and give values to these two arguments, X and Z. These arguments could be anything, the name of the function could be anything, whatever you have to specify, whatever the alert box specifies could be anything, it's up to you. Just that the method should be correct. Okay. Let us move to the next topic now.